Disasters can be the most devastating setback available to a nation. The Chilean government over the past couple decades has experienced a high volume and wide variety of natural disasters. The goals that are the driving force behind disaster management are to reduce the harm to life, property, and the environment. Chile is neither an exception nor a stranger to this concern of paramount importance. Chile uses the top-down approach. The name top-down refers to the chain of command and decision-making during the recovery process of any victim country. Top refers to the national or federal government, and down refers to the direction of their decisions as they are passed down to the local government officials of the affected areas. This approach has been proven as successful in the face of disaster. On April 1, 2014, an earthquake of 8.2 magnitude struck in the Pacific Ocean roughly 80 miles from land. They promptly issued an early tsunami warning, which resulted in the successful evacuation of roughly 900,000 citizens. According to Margareta Wallström, the head of the United Nations Office for Disaster Risk Reduction, the effective disaster response and preparedness strategies of the Chilean government and its National Emergency Management Office are vital to the safety and well-being of everyone living in a country which is so vulnerable to earthquakes and tsunamis. Chile is a highly seismic and highly volcanic area, making them prone to a wide variety of natural disasters. Oftentimes, disasters are easier to respond to rather than to prepare for and predict. Chile has found a way, however, to prepare for their most common customer of disaster, earthquakes. Chile has had some of the most strict building codes in the world. Their construction sector puts a heavy effort into the durability of their building by enforcing strict building codes and putting the buildings through earthquake testing. These strict codes have led to less buildings collapsing during earthquakes, which not only reduces damage to the environment, but has also saved countless numbers of lives. Within the top-down implementation process of Chile, there are a couple national government agencies that combine efforts to distribute relief and execute recovery plans. The main organization is referred to by the acronym ONEMI, which translates to the National Office of Emergency of the Interior Ministry. They are in charge of organizing and carrying out disaster management plans for Chile. They are accompanied by the National Forest Corporation and the Southern Andean Volcano Observatory. All three work together in hopes of limiting the damage to life and the environment in the case of a natural disaster. Potential obstacles to effective disaster management include cost, low levels of political support, and socio-cultural issues, and lack of risk perception. The first potential roadblock on the path to disaster management is cost. Everything costs money, especially replacing things. Oftentimes during natural disasters, such as earthquakes and tsunamis, the victim country is too poor to finance the restructure of the area impacted. The next most common scenario standing between a nation and recovery from disaster is a low level of political support. When a disaster strikes, more times than not, the follow-up falls in the hands of politicians. If you do not have the fiscal or political support from these politicians, your entire city, or even country, is left at the mercy of someone who has no interest or compassion for the recovery. This oftentimes can prove to be extremely problematic. Lack of risk perception can also be an incredible obstacle to disaster management. For example, if a country calls for an evacuation, they obviously believe there is an imminent threat in the near future. However, if the public does not perceive it to be that way, they will simply stay in their home area and in the near future will face the impact of the natural disaster that is pending.